must be losing my shit. Because I'm about to take on the endeavor of monthly horoscopes for all 12 signs. I think I'm going to do it a little differently than most people do. I think I'm going to focus on the Chinese zodiac instead of the Occidental. So, for that reason, I will begin with the rat. I'm very sore. I went on a hike today. I don't feel very, very good. Por noster, quies in caelis, sanctificatum nomen tuum, adveniat regnum tuum, fiat voluntas tua, sicut et in caelo, et in terra. Panem nostrum quotidianum da nobis hodie, et debita nobis, debita nostra. Sicut et nos medibus debitoribus nostris, et ne nos inducas in tentationem, sed libera nos a malo. Amen. And if you've ever watched any of my videos, I'm not doing anything weird except saying the Lord's Prayer in Latin, which I guess could be considered weird. But, you know, I'm not like hexing people or anything with Latin spells. I was just lucky enough to have to take 7 semesters of Latin before I was 14. By a Catholic teacher who made us say the Lord's Prayer before every class. And yeah, that means summer class too. Some shit just never leaves ya. You know? Like I had this tick on my neck from hiking today, and it wasn't in very deep. I was actually able to pull it off because like I didn't realize what it was at first, but like as soon as I started pulling, I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't continue pulling because maybe it'll get its head stuck in there. But I just ripped the band-aid off and his head came out cleanly. Thank fucking God. But yeah, I threw him immediately in the toilet because I didn't want to, like, you know, split him in half like my mom would have done. So, he didn't go down the toilet with the first flush. And our toilet sucks, so I had to wait there for like 15 minutes just watching him spin around until I could flush the toilet again. And that time he went. But I got to see some pretty cool moves from a, what are they called? From, yeah, one of those lovely parasites you get while you're hiking. I'm sure he's never swam a day in his life, but he had some beautiful moves. Go on over to my Instagram and check out the stories if you don't believe me. Alright. Anyone born under the year of the rat, please help me speak to their emotional, their intellectual, their tangible, and their creative needs. Two of Swords. Seven of Cups reversed. The Devil reversed. of Wands, reversed, Three of Wands reversed. You know what? I'm going to reverse this, and I'm going to make these right side up, because I think I just picked up the deck from the wrong way, because that can happen. If every card you pull is upside down, you should probably just turn the deck around. Like I do so here. Alright. Now I have the Seven of Swords. Lots of sevens. Well, 2 sevens. Let's see. I have a 7. I have a 15, which is 22. I have another 7, which is 29. I have a 2, which is 31. I have a 5, which is 36. I have a 3, which is 39. 3 plus 9 is 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. Huh. The Star. Six of Cups. Queen of Cups. So, if you all will follow me for a moment. The deck I'm using is a bronze and black version of the Rider-Waite Tarot. It's my first Rider-Waite deck. Because I don't know if you've watched any videos, but I usually really prefer to use my pre-Raphaelite deck. It's the one I've had the longest, and it's the one I'm most used to. But in a Lenormand style reading, you have the center, which is the Three of Wands, and then the 4 corners are big 2. 2 of Swords reversed, the Devil, Star reversed, and the Queen of Cups. This makes me think that there is going to come upon those of you born in the year of the rat a decision that seems glamorous, but is not built on a solid foundation. There is no permanence to this decision that you're thinking about making. It may be sexy, it may be glamorous and star-studded, but the Queen of Cups wants you to do what's right for you emotionally, not do what society thinks is cool, which is basically what the Devil represents. The Devil represents the perversion of society. The Star represents creativity, but since it's reversed, I'm thinking that it is kind of a shadowy figure. Like, it wants to appear as the woman-in-law on the card, but she's lost somehow. And then the 2 of Swords reversed speaks to a decision that has to be made with the belief that you have no information about either choice that will help you make the right one. Now, she could put the swords down and unwrap her eyes and maybe look about. She's got the ocean scored with little rock islands and then some mountains in the back, so travel is a part of this card. So with either decision she makes, she's going to go through something that changes her. She is going to make some journey that by the end of it, she will know more about who she is as a person. Alright, rats. The rest of the cards, the 7 of Cups, 5 of Wands, 3 of Wands, 6 of Swords, 6 of Cups. I would prefer to do some reading as of now, if y'all don't mind. The 7 of Cups is just opportunity. Like each cup represents some form of like power or money or vanity or something that just humans usually want. And it's up to him to pick one over the other. So that kind of speaks to the 2 of Swords being as a decision and being confused and being confronted with a lot of options and not knowing any of the framework by which to judge her case or her decision. The 5 of Wands is a very competitive card. So, internally there might be a lot of like competition and conflict, inner conflict. And that may be why it's such a shadowy decision for you at the moment, is because you're not aligned with your will, like with your creativity. You don't exactly know what it is you want. So how could you like pick a way to go if you're not even sure of who you are or what you want? The 3 of Wands is a card I'm not super familiar with. Ah, a red-tailed hawk. So this card is about patience and cultivating inner knowledge before taking any new steps. That's at the heart of this. And this is where we first got into the birds of prey with my red-tailed hawk. I will be continuing that. I just went to Louisville and I didn't have time to go to the Raptors Center, and I don't want to do this set without, you know, having me with some raptors to show you. How do you see the scene? Someone's about to cross the straits by boat. 2, or he has arrived too late. The ships have already set sail. 3, or he observes the proceedings from above. 4, or he expects or hopes for something. 5, or he does not know how to go on. 6, or he has turned away, etc. I must go down to the sea again, the lonely sea in the sky. That was written by John Masefield. I don't know who that is, so if you do, please comment below. The basic meaning of this card is an image of entrepreneurial spirit, yearnings and golden fulfillment, the art of being connected with the world, feeling at home in every port. Two wands are standing behind the figure, a warning against unconscious desires and motives that exercise their influence unnoticed. The face turned away, a warning against fleeing to the front. The solution, to look oneself in the face. Know what one is doing and why. That's why she is going to have to take off the wrapping around her eyes. And the Seven of Swords, I know I recently did this one too, and I know it's about travel, and I know it's about recovery. And Six of Swords. The Lot of the Ferryman. Connecting worlds, having understanding for what is in foreign, including understanding men, women, children as individuals. The black pole as a decisive symbol. This would be the black pole in his hand. The black pole is a decisive symbol. The boat only moves when the pole touches the very bottom. The language of the tarot. Success comes from keeping in touch with the basics. Otherwise, the cargo of swords is just an old ballast being moved from one place to the next. Knowing one's basic motives and aims enriches contacts with others and is a great navigation aid. The swords and the bow. Spiritual experience. Fundamental experiences such as love, death, plenty, or lack. Try to get to the bottom of differences of opinion. Make sure you get across what is important to you. When you know what you're doing, you can do what you like. See, this all speaks to that Two of Swords. She doesn't know any of the basics she needs to. She doesn't know who she is, what she wants, where she doesn't know who she is. The promise of the image is a lively consciousness and knowing when you are going with the flow, sensing flow within you and between yourself and others, and learning how to chart your own course in the river of time and events. Well, that's the ideal situation, right? But that's not the situation we have here. So the Star, the smoke and mirrors, glamour, meant to tempt, our Two of Swords, Six of Cups. What does one need to allow one's spiritual life to blossom out? The card makes it clear the adult can and must become a child again. And that also means resolving with those bad childhood experiences and returning to a childlike openness and joy. I've actually been, it's kind of synchronistic because I've been listening to Sadhguru and just a bunch of people about the wonder of children and how it can heal our brain if we can just learn to think like children again, or, you know, just things among that category. An image of interaction with others and one's relationship to oneself. That's what our girl with the Two Swords needs to create, a relationship with herself. A double face. The small woman looks away from the mannequin dwarf. It's hard to tell. The small woman looks away from the mannequin/dwarf for the yellow patches her face and the orange-red scarf on the left and right. She's also looking toward him. Now the yellow is her hair, with her face to the left and the scarf to the right. Both of these points of view belong to the image. Most people spontaneously only see one of the variants, but we need both, setting limits and establishing contact, no and yes, boundaries, duality. Falling in love, completing a therapy, bathing in the fountain of youth, a sheltered space in which one can show one's vulnerability. Dare to take a look at your emotional experience, but don't demand too much of yourself. You can expand on the horizons of your understanding. Today, you have more alternatives at your disposal than you did as a child. Do away with childish patterns of reaction and do what you, as an adult, have long since wanted to do. Take this opportunity as it presents itself to cast off old fears and fulfill important wishes. Let's see if the Queen of Cups has anything to say that I missed. You are like this queen. The card emphasizes your royal dignity and also your feminine attributes. You have and are developing a majestic mastery over the spiritual forces of life. All your skills as a human being with a wealth of feeling and emotional intelligence are needed. The ruler of the desires of the heart. What is going to do me good? What do I want for me/us? Duality as seen, Two of Swords. As is the case with all the court cards, the Queen represents an ideal, the perfect mastery over the element in question. Here the cups, water, feelings, the soul, beliefs. You are like this queen. You are well on your way, and you are destined to meet somebody who personifies this queen. Trust your inner voice and feelings. Let it flow. Go down to the river or lake. Meditate there. Open your heart for all, not for each. So, I guess preconceived notions are a big, big, big no-no. The pricelessness of the soul, to pay and to receive respect, that is the key to your current questions. The cup is completely closed, and the shell throne is quite open. A hint for you, too, not to just go halfway. You can rely on your gut feelings. The main thing is to learn how to separate the wheat from the chaff in matters of taste and emotion. Heard that. Let me just see if I can find. I know I'm looking for something. The Devil's 15. Tower 16. Bondage, failure, obsession, depression, materialism, lust, illusion, temptation. The Devil card speaks to the things in your life that constrain you and prevent you from living up to your full potential. You may think these are external forces, but the Devil is an inner force. He represents our own self-bondage, fears, addictions, and harmful attachments or impulses. You may feel powerless, but the loosely bound figures on this card, the power to break free is yours. I lost the Page of Wands when the cops raided my house last year. So I had to pretty much throw this deck away. I still have the cards, but you know, I can't use them. In reading, this card may be trying to call attention to some form of bondage in your life, an unhealthy relationship, overindulgence, negative behaviors, or people. Now, rats, you guys are all different Occidental zodiac signs. You guys have all different stuff going on. So just lend your ear, and if something pops up as relevant, I mean, take it. Take it or leave it. Negative behaviors or people. It could indicate obsession or addiction. The Devil card frequently depicts a goat or satyr, often used as a symbol of lust and dark elemental drives. Above him is an inverted pentagram, signifying the darker side of magic and occultism. Sometimes this card indicates behaviors that are keeping you from happiness and fulfillment, such as being too controlling, calculated, or dispassionate. The goat and the devil can also be seen as a scapegoat. You may be blaming others for things only you have the power to change. There are many interesting and powerful combinations that manifest with the devil. If you see the devil next to a page card, there is an indication a young person in your life is suffering from addiction or self-abuse. With the Fool, or the cards may indicate that what seems like carefree behavior and fun is leading you toward debt, addiction, and personal ruin. The devil paired with strong couples card like the Lovers or the Two of Cups indicate unhealthy level of codependence in your relationship. The devil is not always a negative card to pull, but he generally indicates harmful bonds that must be broken. You need to eliminate the thing that are harming you and holding you back. Push past the despair and seek freedom. Bad habits or addictions may be getting the best of you. Look out for the forces in your life that will make your situation worse. Things that might put you in debt or bind you more firmly to bad relationship. In the past position, especially in reverse, the devil may indicate a history of addiction and a situation you would do well to remember. The correspondences of this card are Capricorn, the number 15, the plants lobelia, carnation, wormwood, mugwort. Art note: the figures on this card were inspired by the erotic illustrations of Italian artist Riccardo Manelli. I don't know if anybody knows who that is, but I'm definitely checking it out when I'm done with this. I better write it down, actually. Where is my writing down stuff? Whatever. Oh. Erotic illustrations by Riccardo Manelli. This is a great deck. Very beautiful. Lion Strider's Journey. Okay. what it says for the Two of Swords. This is what the image is. It's a hawk with its blinder on. Interesting. Choices, indecision, not fully informed, denial, courage, friendship, stalemate, stagnation. The Two of Swords is a card that indicates difficult decisions. Usually the card shows a woman wearing a blindfold. I chose to draw a hooded falcon, a powerful, swift animal who cannot move into action because it is temporarily blinded. The blindfolded character may not wish to see or acknowledge the facts before her, or may be trying to put off the moment of choice. The blindfold can also mean that you don't have all the facts that you need to move forward. Sometimes this card can indicate that someone else is keeping you in the dark. If you remove the blindfold and honestly face the facts, problems and consequences of your actions, you will be in a better position to make decisions. If this card comes up in a reading, the time has come to assess and choose. Open your eyes and look honestly at your options and problems. Apply your intellect and balance your losses and gains. Procrastinating or delaying won't make difficult decisions go away. It's time to take charge, pick a path, and move forward. This card calls on the mind and the cold power of intellect rather than the heart. You need to analyze the situation, parse out the pros and cons of the options facing you, and make the decision based on facts. Many major decisions involve pain, sacrifice, or sadness. Now is not the time to be emotional about your choices. The two balanced swords in this image ask you to cleanly cut to the quick of the decisions you are facing and pragmatically approach them. If two or more court cards manifest in your reading, you may find yourself dealing in a situation of rivalry or tension between two people close to you. Cups cards also speak to the relationships in your life and to trouble that may be brewing in that realm. What's the Seven of Cups? Paired with the Justice card, there may be a question of dishonesty or betrayal. Honest assessment of the facts will bring peace to your mind and help you move forward in your journey. The waxing moon in the image promises a new start after difficult choices have been made. This card does not generally carry a light or happy message, but when reversed, the Two of Swords indicates lies, betrayal, or self-delusion. It could also be that you are stuck between two difficult options or two difficult people. The card is reversed. You don't have all the facts, you can't clearly see all sides of the situation, and you think there are negative consequences to any course of action. You need to extricate yourself, rat, from the situation altogether. Retreat and seek higher intellectual ground where you can remove the blindfold and get a clearer picture of everything that is going on. This card might be warning you that you are being manipulated, that facts are being withheld, or that someone is otherwise making it hard for you to make a rational decision. The moon in the image indicates intuition. Right there. Correspondence is the numbers 2, 56, and 11. 5 and 6 make 11, and that makes 2. Associated birthdays, June 28 to July 2nd. Anybody in the audience born between those dates? Associated plants, passion flower, blueberry, camphor. Curious now about the Seven of Cups. Illusions, fantasy, unreal expectations. Seven of Cups is a card of illusions, dreams, transitions, and mystery. Usually this card depicts a person faced with many cups full of mysterious objects. I chose to draw it using shards of broken glass to express the breaking of illusion and to regain freedom. This card indicates that you must bring yourself out of the land of aspiration and into the real world. Be wary of wishful thinking. Focus on real-world achievements, goals, and plans. The Seven of Cups celebrates the dreamer who is able to see possibilities and excitement as well as difficulties in the future, but warns against putting too much stock in illusions. A savings account will take you farther than a lottery ticket. This card may speak to the dangers of illusion where temptation is concerned. You may have many choices presented to you, and not all of them will lead to happiness or good things. We see the devil right next to it. In particular, be wary of sexual or emotional temptations. So this is how she's saying she drew it with the shards of glass versus traditionally it's a man with cups overflowing with all different things like that represent power and sexuality and money and stuff like that. This card often warns of behavior that is taking you away from your ideal path. Maybe you want to find a life partner but are unwilling to take the necessary steps to open yourself and your life to change. Maybe you wish Maybe you wish you were healthier but would prefer to take a magic pill that promises fast results rather than get off the couch and do the work. What area of your life needs less illusion and more action? If this card manifests with the Sun or the Six of Pentacles, it is possible that you are allowing someone else to carry your weight while you dabble in things that won't pan out. In a romantic reading, you may be operating with unrealistic expectations or blindness toward your own faults and flaws. In its most negative reversal aspect, this card suggests an unwillingness to deal with reality. You may be caught up in delusions, wishful thinking, or paranoia, but perhaps in avoiding some kind of internal issue that needs to be dealt with. This card may present for the gambling addict or for a person trying to find that get-rich-quick secret, especially if it shows up with the devil. Beware, there is no shortcut to your best self. 7, 47, and 11. 4 plus 7 is 11. September 28 to October 8. Anybody with a birthday between those dates in the comments? Associated plants: lilac, lotus, and mugwort. Now I got all these wands. I'm so curious what she has to say about them. Sorry. You guys can just turn this off if you want. But it's been so long since I've read this. So the Five of Wands is usually like a bunch of people like clumsily like trying to do some athletic feat. Her card, it's like a fox. Let's see how she... 2 foxes, a dove. Let's see how she explains it. Conflict, rivalry, struggle for dominance, work struggles, tension, bickering. The fives in tarot frequently herald conflict, tension, or change. This card indicates that you may currently or in the near future find yourself in a situation of conflict, competition, or upheaval. While things are not always easy, having very clear goals will help navigate your way through interpersonal difficulties. This is putting a lot of weight on this first card to make the correct decision. It is possible that impending conflicts that can be avoided if you have the presence of mind to think very clinically about what you want and need from a particular situation. Remember, If handled with focus and dignity, competition can sometimes help bring out the best in people. In a reading, this card may indicate internal struggle or a time when you feel divided between disparate paths. The Five of Wands encourages you to embrace change and let the conflict push you toward new horizons and greater goals. Be wary of people that might be causing unnecessary tension. The Devil. Division or even sabotage. Are there court cards in your reading? Meditate on whether these court cards represent people in your life and try to understand the relationships that are being revealed by the cards. The way through this situation is to seek truth, facts, honesty with yourself and others. If handled correctly, the fire of this card will clear new paths toward success and prosperity. Paired with the Seven of Cups, which it is, or the Moon, the conflict might be primarily in your mind. It's easy to compare yourself with others, but doing so seldom leads to personal greatness. Focus on who you are and what your personal best is. Reach for your own star. Paired with the Death or Judgment, may be time to part ways with the people or organizations that are undermining you rather than helping you grow. The Five of Wands has a number of negative applications. It can indicate that you may not be handling conflict well, or that in a coming conflict, you will passively allow others to tread on your path to success. Now is not the time for passivity. This card may also issue a strong warning about forces that are at work against you. For example, in a relationship reading, an ex or interloper may be secretly working to undermine your happiness. At work, there may be obstacles that feel overwhelming or animosity you don't understand. This card can also indicate that the present or coming conflicts have the potential to derail your future. You must focus relentlessly on your goals and desires and not allow yourself to be railroaded or intimidated by those who do not have your best interests at heart. Numbers 5, 31, and 4. Associated birthdays April 15th to April 21. So those are my third decan Aries. Any of those in the house? I'm a second decan Aries. The plants are fennel, lobelia, and turmeric. So interested what the Three of Wands says. Look at how beautiful this is with the stags. Oh, I love her artwork. Enterprise beginnings, partnerships, long-term plans, cooperation, future financial success. And this is in the center. The Three of Wands indicates a time to expand and grow. Be aware of new opportunities to build onto current business or projects. Consider potential allies and partners. This card speaks of partnership opportunities that may lead to greater success for you and your ventures. Like the stag pictured on this card, look from the cliff top and visualize your future. Lay plans for the things you would like to achieve rather than focusing entirely on the things already present in your life. Represented by the three firmly planted, blossoming wands depicted on this card. In the reading, the Three of Wands is a scion of new opportunity, travel, partnership, and studies, ways to expand on the things into which you have already invested time and effort. And with Jupiter coming in conjunction with Pluto, Jupiter's greatest quality is expansion, the expansion of the mind, the expansion of focus, the expansion of tolerance. So this card also asks that you have an open mind, think big, aim high, and move into your future with confidence. You're capable of more than you can imagine. This is a good omen in a relationship reading, favorably indicating long-term partnership potential, especially if paired with the Lovers or Two of Cups. or the expansion of your current family. In financial reading, be aware that what you're building now has great promise for future stability and prosperity, whether it is related to education, networking, or a business. While the Three of Wands is generally a positive card, it can indicate delays, obstacles, lack of cooperation in your relationships or business ventures if reversed. Unforeseen roadblocks may arise that will hinder you for future success. Be aware of potential betrayals or people failing to come through on the things they promised. In a relationship reading, the Three of Wands reversed may indicate incompatibility in the long-term goals. The warning this card delivers for your long-term success rather than slight temporary setbacks. Step back, assess carefully, and prepare yourself for hard decisions. Numbers 3. Associated birthdays, April 3rd to April 8th. The day after mine. Associated plants, saffron and Irish moss. I brought some moss home from the woods today. I hope it goes well with my plant. I put a bunch of rocks that I found in the woods in it too. I'll show it to you guys in a second. See what the Seven of Wands says. Did I already look at this? It's Seven of Swords. Diplomacy, tact, honesty, dishonesty, quarreling, duplicity, secrets, hidden motivations, sneakiness. This card often comes up when the querent or someone in the querent's life is trying to get away with something. Rats, listen up. There is also an element of sneakiness to this card, or slinking away and shirking of duty or responsibility. I drew a column of smoke coming from the camp, an indication of the cost of duplicitous behavior, the burning of bridges, or the torching of relationships. This card always reminds me of a Bible verse I heard a lot as a kid. Be sure your sins will find you out. Numbers 23:22. So that's what she's talking about when she says the smoke. In a relationship reading, this card may point to dishonesty or infidelity. Are you having an affair or lying about something that is undermining the foundations of your relationship? Is it possible that your mate is cheating on you? In a work reading, this card may be an indication that you are not being completely upfront or honest about something, and your behavior is becoming a hazard. It could also indicate that someone is talking about you behind your back or attempting to take some credit for something that is not theirs. Be especially worried if this card manifests in the reading with the Moon card. There are things going on behind the scenes. Either you are the messenger or you are being deceived. If you have asked the card for advice about how to deal with a situation or problem, it could be that the cards are actually suggesting some sneakiness in your approach. In reverse, Seven of Swords has quite a different significance. It can indicate that you are having a hard time breaking free from a situation that is no longer good for you. Perhaps you feel burdened by responsibilities. Why did I just read the Seven of Swords? I didn't draw the Seven of Swords. I drew the Seven. Whatever. Perhaps you feel burdened by responsibilities, unable to let go of past problems, or just discouraged by what seem like insurmountable odds. The card may be telling you to drop all the baggage, the old swords that are no longer battle-worthy, and try to face the future bravely. Watch out if you're engaging in dishonest behavior. This card may mean that you're about to get busted. Correspondences, numbers 761. Associated birthdays, October 28 to November 21. Got any Libras in here or Scorpios? Associated plants, wood, betony, dogbane. Art note, this drawing was inspired by the wonderful pirates and N.C. Wyeth's beautifully illustrated version of Treasure Island. Okay, Six of Swords. So, the main thing about the Six of Swords is the boat and traveling across the river. Like, yeah, she did it. She doesn't have all the swords there, but the swords kind of seem convoluted, like that would never be like the way that I would travel with swords, you know, with them like stuck into the wood, like at the bottom with the hilt up, like a cage. Weird. Travel, escape, baggage, new adventure, better times ahead, change, movement. This is a card that often appears at times of change, moving, traveling, change of job, etc. The Six of Swords indicates that important choices must be made that will set you on a new path. You may be moving away from difficult or problematic situation toward an unknown but hopefully optimistic future. The calm waters ahead of the boat on the illustration of the card indicate that now is a good time to make a needed transition. At times, the transition is internal, letting go of past hurt, failure, loss, and moving on to new ways of being. A long journey or trip may be indicated or a move to a new home. In a relationship reading, this card may mean that the time has come to leave a relationship that is no longer helping you grow and find happiness. In any reading, it is possible that the cards are telling you to set sail for new horizons. It can also mean that the time to let go of past hurt or attachments and to allow yourself to sail toward a new way of being. If the Six of Swords appears next to the High Priestess, you may need to wait before taking that journey or new path. These cards together might be telling you there are unknown elements in the situation. You need to get all the information before you move. With the Eight of Wands, a quick decision is encouraged. Now is the time to move forward, especially where travel is concerned. The reverse Six of Swords may indicate that you are running away from a problem that still needs to be dealt with. This card may also indicate that you feel trapped, that you want to set sail for new things but are unable, for some external constraint is preventing your path forward. For example, maybe you would like to leave a relationship but are not able to financially. Look at other cards to find suggestions about how to deal with the things that are blocking your path. In reverse, this card may also indicate that a partnership or relationship is falling apart. One involved party is drifting away, even though you might not know it yet. Correspondence, the numbers are 6 and 60. Associated birthdays, October 22 to October 27. Scorpios. Associated plant, vervain. Curious what she says about the star reversed. There we go. Rider-Waite-Smith version. Cielo Thompson's version. I feel like I need to take this down. Does it do anything? I need to. Yeah. So yeah. Can you see that better? Okay. Get closer. Keywords: renewal, optimism,
abundance, generosity, humility, intuition, faith, recovery, and hope. One of the most gentle cards in the deck, the star often appears at times of personal transformation. She indicates that now is a time of healing and positive transformation, a time to release anger, bitterness, and negativity, forgive and forget, embrace new opportunities. The star is often depicted as a woman who is half on dry land, representing common sense and ability, but her other half is in the water, representing intuition and spirituality. In my drawing, I took things a step further and drew her almost as a mermaid, her legs just wispy fins swirling in water. The pictured bird is the sacred ibis, representing the mind. The astrological sign of the star is Aquarius. Holy shit. Oh my god, I hurt my ankle so bad. Oh my god, I was leaning on it wrong. Give me a second. In reading, you may see this card paired with the Hermit. If so, a blessed period of quiet renewal and rest is in the cards for you. Take time to study, meditate, and be alone. This is also true of the Four of Swords. Rest between battle. It is okay to temporarily lay down your swords, trust the benevolent forces around you, and allow yourself some peace. Paired with the Chariot or Magician, this is a great omen for accomplishing your goals, getting the things you want, and having the world around you cooperate in a way that might seem almost magical. Even reversed, this is a gentle card. She may sometimes serve to remind us of the damage that grudges, revenge, and negativity cause. She urges us to let go and focus on growth, hope, and change. Correspondences. Astrology, Gemini, Aquarius. Number 17. Associated plants, jasmine, dentura, skullcap, grape, bluebell. Love jasmine.
So, what I'm feeling is that some of you rats have been in positions for quite some time that you don't feel capable of escaping. And they are situations that are just grinding on your nerves and your ability to practice your spirituality. It's almost like I feel like you have to hide any intuition or any kind of like light that you have on the inside. And this woman with the two swords with her eyes covered is like almost like a joke, like the devil telling you door number 1 or door number 2, you'll be free. Or you feel like it's like that, where in all reality you just right now have a chance to escape. Let's continue. I really like this book, so I'm going to continue to see what it says. The Six of Cups, upright. Nostalgia, childhood happiness, memories, celebration, good feelings, joy, generosity, teaching. The Six of Cups represents childhood, nostalgia, naive happiness, and generosity. The white flowers and yellow coloring. Here. White flowers in yellow color depicted on this card indicate innocence and happiness. As for the lemurs, well, lemurs are so playful and joyful, I thought they were appropriate. The Six of Cups can represent a return to a familiar environment or feeling. Perhaps you will be visiting friends. Perhaps you are family or a nostalgic place. Allow yourself positive nostalgic memories of childhood, friends, and family, and reconnect with these happy pieces of your younger self. In the thought system, this card is called pleasure, and it indicates the experience of deep emotions that come after passing through something difficult and are now able to enjoy the pleasures of harmony and love. And that speaks to what I just said about the rats possibly coming out of some kind of horrible situation and having the opportunity to let themselves experience these gifts, the only gifts we get on earth. It's all suffering unless we get these sweet moments of nostalgia and like childlike wonder and love. And in a romantic reading, this card is a lovely omen of the kind of love that can make you feel youthful and joyful. That's my mom. You may see the Six of Cups when you have reconnected with someone from your past. If this card manifests with the Lovers or the 2 or 10 of Cups, the indication is particularly strong that a romantic interest will bring fun and childlike joy into your life. But be aware that it may come with an element of immaturity. In a financial reading, beware of foolish spending or the indulgence of immature fantasies. While it's great to have fun, your professional life may require you to set aside childish things, especially in matters of money. Paired with the Strength card, your innocence and, to a degree, naivety may actually be the thing from which you can draw strength. The Six of Cups, in its reversed aspect, may indicate that you're clinging to ideas or identity from your past, or that there are issues from your past from which you have not moved forward. Use your past as a guide for your future, but focus on the present and on laying your foundations for the future. It may mean that you or someone in your life is behaving in a childish way, and that it is impeding progress or happiness in your life. Number 6, 46, 10, and 1. 46, 10, and 1 all equal 1. Associated birthdays, September 22 to September 27. Virgo. Associated with plants, watermelon, cherry blossom, and honeysuckle. Lovely. I'm going to read the Queen of Cups just to finish it off. And then I will be doing the next animal. Virtue, femininity, vision, spirituality, intuition, insight, nurturing, fertility, creativity, success, power. The Queen of Cups rules the realms of emotions and indicates compassion, love, and concern for ourselves and our fellow man. She is a beautiful, introspective woman who cradles a cup in her hands. The cup is closed and contains a fish, the symbol of spirit and creativity. The closed cup is an indication that the thoughts of the Queen originate from her own inner depths rather than the external world. Her watery companions and crown of sea stars are symbols of the unconscious mind, creativity, emotion, spirit, and feeling. In a reading, the Queen of Cups can manifest as a person in your life or as part of yourself. She appears as a mature woman. Her intuition is unrivaled. She is the force of water, and her connection to the unconscious is very strong. This card appears when your role is to nurture, empathize, and show compassion. Rats, this is the role you need to show yourselves when you're making this decision. The Queen of Cups
in a reverse context suggests an inability to connect emotionally, disassociation from the unconscious realm that feeds your soul and helps you create. In relationships, this card reversed indicates stress and a lack of empathy or understanding. Frazzled or excessive emotions can cause you to lose touch with the positive aspects of this queen. Find your way back to the water. Your strength is in the deep calm of the unconscious realm. Numbers 38, 11. Both add up to 2. Associated birthdays, February 4 to February 10. That's Aquarius. Associated plants, apple blossom, cedar, elderflower. All right, rats. So, the 4 corners were the 2 of Swords reversed, the Devil, the Star reversed, and the Queen of Cups upright. So, in the first column, you had the 2 of Swords reversed, the 5 of Wands, and the Star reversed. In the second column, you had the 7 of Wands, the 7 of Cups, the 3 of Wands, and the 6 of Cups. In the third column, you had the Devil, the 6 of Cups, and the Queen, or the 6 of Swords and the Queen of Cups. So if you'd like to do any further research, or if you found out I'm wrong about anything, please correct me. I want to be wrong.